Good afternoon, Coulter. How are we doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. So I just wanted to kind of pick up where we left off
Yeah.
last session. And you started to talk a little bit about how you were feeling about yourself, and I was kind of hearing some imposter syndrome when it comes to grad school.
Yeah.
So, can you kind of tell me how that's been for you?
Yeah, I think applying to grad school and everything, I just never really going through all the whole application process and doing interview and stuff. It just never really felt like I was going to get in. It seemed like a very daunting thing, a very daunting task, and that was beyond my intellectual ability. And now that I'm here, I just don't really feel like I belong here or deserve to be here.
Okay.
Especially compared to the other people that are in my classes. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been going through lately.
Okay. So kind of feeling like you overestimated the situation.
Yeah, in a way, I guess,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess with that being said, I kind of wanted to try this technique with you in session today. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, no, that sounds like a good idea. I'm willing to try anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask you some questions, and then you'll respond,
Okay.
and we'll kind of work through this.
Okay.
So the first thing I want you to do is kind of share with me this story that you've told about yourself in terms of like where you are in grad school and how that's made you feel.
Okay. Well, so like, can you maybe give an example of that?
So from what I heard before, you're feeling like you feel out of place, and that maybe like you feel like you don't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
So those are kind of the stories that you've been telling yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of going off of that, just like further elaborate, like the things that you've been telling yourself.
Okay. I mean, every day that I'm in class, I don't know, like I have a hard time speaking up or expressing my thoughts or opinions on anything when it's asked to, like, when I'm asked to contribute to a conversation or anything in class. I just tell myself, like, what's the point? There's no way that I'm going to say anything that's worthwhile to these other people that are much smarter and more deserving than me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it just kind of keeps me telling myself that I just don't belong here.
Yeah.
Like, it just doesn't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I guess what we're gonna do next is taking that kind of story.
Yeah.
It sounds kind of silly, but we're gonna like put it in the chair next to you.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like it's next to you. This whole problem is next to you. And then while directly looking like next to you.
Oh, okay.
Yep. What would you like to say to this? Like, what would you like to say to this problem?
I'd probably say, like, why, like, what makes me think that,
Mm-hmm.
I guess I'm supposed to be, like, looking at
That's
it.
okay,
Like,
yeah, no, definitely.
Like, it just, like, I don't know, like, why are you making me feel that way?
Yeah.
And, like, what makes these other people, like, so much more deserving to be in this position than I am?
Mm-hmm. So next, I want you to tell it how it has affected you and your relationships.
Well, is it like, am I supposed to like name it, or?
If that's helpful, yes, but you can just say like how it has affected you and like how it affected your relationships.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I've not taken advantage of making friends in classes because of you or my negative thoughts. And I feel like I'm not really like actually getting a lot out of this experience of being in grad school because I'm just so anxious to even contribute any idea or contribute at all basically in class. And so it's kind of just left me going through the motions almost.
Yeah.
And so I think that's where a lot of that question of why I'm here comes from,
Yeah. Okay. So then the next step is we're gonna kind of like take control of it. So you're gonna repeat after me.
Okay.
I now have control over the amount of influence that it has on me.
So
Yep.
you want me just to say that
Yep.
back to you? Okay.
Yep. I now have control over the amount of influence it has on me.
I now have the control over the amount of influence like it has on me.
Great. And then we are gonna, I'm replacing this old narrative with a new one.
I'm replacing this old narrative with a new one.
Okay, good. And then, so now, what do you want this new narrative to be? Like, what do you want this new story to be?
I mean, like in an ideal world, I wish I could tell myself that I deserve to be here, and to see these people not as like smarter than I am or better or whatever, just as my peers and people to learn from and to gain support from, rather than to be intimidated by. So.
And how do you want to feel about yourself specifically?
I wish I wish I could feel, or I would like to feel more confident in my decision to be here and in my abilities.
Definitely.
Being here going forward. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Thank you for walking through that with me. How are we feeling?
I'm feeling a little more confident. Yeah, it felt good to take charge of, to be in charge of those, negative thoughts.
Definitely.
About where I'm at in life.
Yeah.
And to have a little bit more to say. And then,
Well, good. That concludes our exercise.
Okay.